Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome to another video today. Some of you may find, well, I don't know, probably not many people watch it, but some of you may find this a bit controversial even though it shouldn't be. So I'm just going to get into it. I'm just going to talk about some stuff. So this is just a general rambling and it is political, so if you don't like that sort of thing, you just want the gameplay and the tech reviews, that sort of stuff. Well, graphics cards anyway, then skip this one, move on to the next one, and well, it's more of a British or English point of view on stuff that's going on. So the first thing I do want to talk about is the whole Brexit issue. So I still find it incredible the amount of misinformation that goes around, and we can argue back and forth if you want to. Feel free to argue me in the comments. I'm sure we can have a good chat about all that sort of stuff. I've got no issue with it at all. So there seems to be a lot of misinformation going out around and about the different caveats within the deal for the European Union and about trade and everything else. Now, a lot of the argument I get from people who voted to remain, especially the conversation I had with one of my friends earlier, was, well, we need it, we need the fair trade, we need the trade, it's going to tank the economy. And the funny thing, or the real funny thing about that, is that there is the argument that there's so many more people to trade with, regardless of whatever percentage it is. Even if you want to go with the 50%, if you want to go with the 50% that we trade with the EU, that trade will still happen. And it is completely ludicrous to think that in order to have free trade you have to have free movement of people. So the European Union, I don't know, as of today, or I think it was announced today, yeah, actually, has announced that they're going to have a free trade deal with Japan. So, judging by the rhetoric that the EU uses with us and what British people and people who live in this country think about or are being told about the fair trade agreements by European leaders and leaders of other political parties in the country, such as the Liberal Democrats, I'm watching you, we're not going to get free movement with Japan. I can't go and live in Japan now just because, well, we've got fair trade, we've got trade rights with you, and as per the European Union, for us to have free trade, we're going to have free movement of people as well. There's none of that deal. The whole point of it is to give this rhetoric as though we're being punished for leaving. That's what it is, plain and simple. You can argue that with me, and feel free to do so, because I'd like to get your opinion on it, but why would there be an issue with us doing it? We have all the compatible laws. We've got like 3 million, 2.5 million European citizens living here. We've got close ties to Europe. There's no reason that there needs to be, when the EU realises that that is one of the big factors as a part of the vote to leave, without a doubt, was the free movement of people. And it seems like a non-starter to me. It shouldn't even be an argument. The reason is, and a lot of political commentators think this as well, and this is probably where I've garnered the opinion from, it will embolden other countries that are Eurosceptic themselves. And it will basically give them more impetus to say, you know what, maybe we should have a referendum. See what the people think. There are countries that are, have a vocal section of people that want to call for referendums as well, not just the UK. People paint us out to be the bad guys, that it's all on the UK, but it's not. That's not the case at all. And I think that if we are shown to get any leeway, then straight away the European Union will see themselves at disadvantage if other countries want to leave. Because let's not forget the overall goal of the EU. It's been said many times in European Parliament. You can get the videos up on YouTube. You can listen to the ex-presidents, and the goal is to have ever closer union between the European countries. Now, if that's something that you agree with, that's fair enough, but to a lot of people, they will find that averse to their opinion on how Europe and the West functions. Continuing in the same circle, I want to talk about national identity, because I think that is an issue, especially in the UK. But talking about it from a broader point in terms of the European Union, so one of the things that I feel that the European Union does is it strips people's national identity, their heritage, You know, it devalues their ancestors and their accomplishments, in my opinion. So I don't feel like the Greeks feel as though they can be Greek, the Spanish feel like they can be Spanish. You know, Europe is a brilliant, diverse place because it has all these different cultures, languages, histories. A lot of it is, you know, developed through war and conquest, and admittedly, you know, we're a lot more civilized than previous ages, but I don't think it's anything to be apologetic for. It's like there's a section of people in the UK that believe we need to apologise for the British Empire. I've got absolutely nothing to do with the British Empire. I've never imported tea from India or, you know, been defeated in an American Revolution or anything like that. So, you know, I find it completely ludicrous that that side of things should be scorned upon, but yet we can't. But yet on the same side, the different side of the same coin, we then can't celebrate what makes us unique and what different heritage we have. So I struggle with the idea that a lot of people give that out, and there is also another argument, and it's very pertinent, and it's something that I actually want to just discuss, just put in the comments. I mean, I'm still thinking about it myself, but because I think it is a difficult question to answer. I feel that if you'd have asked this to my grandparents when they were my age, they would have been able to give you they'd have been able to give you a good answer. They would have been able to give you factors and perimeters. So, what I want to ask is, what makes a British person British? What are British values? And then you've actually got the English. People aren't really allowed to say they're English over here, which for people who are American or whatever, you might see that as a bit perverse. If you say you're from Texas, you know, you're from Texas and you're proud of that. To be here and say you're English is not, unfortunately. It's not something that you would be scorned at for, but people would look at you with a slight intrigue coming up with that statement, really. Which I do find perverse, and you know, there's no stigma with the Welsh, the Scottish, the Irish, the Northern Irish, and the Republic. You know, they're more than allowed to be proud of their heritage, and I think that, you know, probably if you speak to a Welsh person and ask them for a definition of what it's like to be Welsh, that's going to be a lot different to what I would, you know, how I would be able to describe you, a British person or an English person. The British should be the encompassing of the lot and shared values between those different ones, and then the Welsh, the Scottish, the Irish, the English will have different subcultures within that, different traditions within that as well. You know, the Welsh obviously, for example, have their own language. To an extent the Scottish do, but obviously I don't know what, I did read the statistics once, but it's an incredibly low percentage of people that actually still speak it. And whereas in Wales it's obviously low as well, but it's a lot more integrated into their culture. So different situations there. So yes, the point I was going to make is, the point in the comments, if any of you want to get engaged, is, in your opinion, what characteristics, features does it make up to be British and English? Unfortunately, I feel as though a lot of people forget that it's actually something to be proud of, and not something that should be scorned or rejected. And unfortunately, these people that claim that they are citizens of the world, yes, we'd have an issue, I think, if we were discussing things like this, because I can't agree with that at all. I don't see any problem in being proud of where you're from, what your culture and heritage is, and especially not if it's, you know, net contributing to the world and society as a whole. Then I don't see how you can do. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I've rambled on for far too long, so I apologise if I've wasted your time. Just wanted to make a video on this. Like I say, it's a bit of a political one, but just something I really wanted to talk about and just touch on different stuff like that. And I'll be going away and having a think about it myself, and if I come up with a clear, coherent response to, you know, the English or the British question, then I'll do a video and see roughly what I can get out of it. At the minute I've got I'm toying with different ideas behind me on there, because it's come off the wall because in summer the white tack and blue tack doesn't stay on the wall for me. For whatever reason, all my posters have fallen off, which is a bit annoying. But over there's the Magna Carta. Good starting point as far as I'm concerned. Big on the old history, so we'll integrate some of that in my thinking. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, or at least interested by it, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thanks for watching, and if you are going to comment, I look forward to reading them. See you next time, guys. Goodbye.